Darth Vader's introduction in Star Wars is hands down one of my favorite character introductions in cinema history. When we first meet Darth Vader, the rebels are in trouble. The opening shot of the Star Destroyer chasing after the rebel ship is exciting. The Star Destroyer is significantly massive when compared to the tiny rebel ship. It's huge, it's powerful, and it immediately tells us who's in charge here. The Empire, the bad guys. The rebels are the underdogs with their tails between their legs running to safety. But how far can they really go on those little rebel ship engines? Not far, of course. As the Star Destroyer docks on the rebel ship, you can feel the tension in the air as the rebels scramble to be in defensive positions. Not long after, the Empire soldiers break into the rebel ship. Blaster shots start flying. Men are falling left and right. R2-D2 and C-3PO are hiding like little bitches. Smoke fills the air and then it happens. Darth Vader steps through the smoke. Let's pause for a second. This is a moment. He's not running, he's not shouting orders, he's just walking. But to me, every step feels heavy. The visuals and sound are doing all the work here. His towering black silhouette against the white hallways of the rebel ship makes him look larger than life. The heavy ass breathing from his mask, that iconic sound, it's unsettling. It feels almost inhuman. And the cape, oh the cape, it flows behind him like he's some kind of dark king. His whole look and vibe when walking into the ship lets me know he isn't just a bad guy walking into a ship, he's the bad guy. But what makes this introduction effective? First off, it's all about contrast. We just watched stormtroopers fumbling their way through a chaotic battle, and then Vader shows up calm and composed. He doesn't need to fight. His presence alone demands respect. You can see it in how the stormtroopers snap to attention as he walks by. And there is the design of his look. George Lucas and the design team absolutely nailed it. His helmet is shiny and alien. The mask is expressionless. And those lifeless, dark lenses make him look like a machine. He's human underneath all that armor, or is he? At this moment, we the viewers don't know. All we can see from what's on screen is that it's the embodiment of power. The way he carries himself screams authority. It's like he's saying, I don't need to rush, I don't need to panic, I'm in control. Then just to drive the point home, Vader gets straight to work. Remember how he interrogates the rebel officer? He doesn't yell or argue. Well, he doesn't need to. He just picks the guy up by the throat like he weighs nothing. That's a full-grown man, for God's sake. Give him some respect. Then he breaks the poor guy's neck after he gives him an answer he doesn't like. It's brutal, efficient, and a little bit chilling. And the best part is that this is just the beginning. You don't know about Anakin Skywalker or the emotional layers that will come in later films. But none of that matters here. In A New Hope, all you need to know is this: that Vader is the big bad, the ultimate villain, and that introduction sticks with you. It's why, decades later, he's still considered one of the greatest cinematic villains of all time. He didn't need flashy moves or a dramatic monologue to establish himself. All he needed was presence. The Joker's introduction from the moment he walks, or should I say, robs his way into the story, is brilliant. The movie opens and we are looking at a city skyline. It's Gotham. As the camera zooms in closer on a building, boom! A window shatters. We see a man in a clown mask holding a grappling gun. Immediately, the screen transitions seamlessly into another scene. This is our first sneak peek of the Joker. We don't even know it's him yet. All we see is his back, and the camera zooms into the eerie-looking mask he is holding. We then follow the Joker and his gang on a bank heist. It's not your typical smash and grab. Every move is calculated, every criminal has a job. But there's an undercurrent of tension, because on the way to the bank, these robbers are talking about the Joker. According to their convo, Joker is the guy who planned the job, but he wasn't on the mission with them, or so they thought. At this point, neither the robbers nor we the audience know that the Joker is the man with the eerie mask.
So why do they call him a Joker? I heard he wears makeup. Makeup? Yeah, to scare people. You know, war paint.
The movie is building his mythos before we even see his face. That's genius storytelling if you ask me. By the time he's revealed, we are already looking forward to meeting this Joker who paints his face. As the robbery progresses, each member of the crew gets taken out by another crew member. One guy disables the alarm and bam, he's shot in the back by his mates. Another guy opens the vault and guess what? He's gone too. And who's behind it all? The last man standing, the one in the clown mask. At this point, you're already realizing this isn't just a heist, it's some kind of game. Unfortunately for the crew though, the bank manager thought he was James Bond. He confronts the robbers, yelling and brandishing a shotgun.
Any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead!
He's out, right?
Of course, he gets shot down, and then it happens. The moment we've all been waiting for. The big reveal.
Whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
The Joker pulls off his mask, and wow, it's unsettling. Heath Ledger's Joker is unlike anything we've seen before. The scars, the smeared makeup, the greasy green hair, it's messy and chaotic. What I love about this reveal is that it isn't rushed. We don't see his face until the very end of the scene, but by then we already know him. 1, we know he's a meticulous planner, and 2, that no one is safe around him. He betrayed his whole team. He is a madman. The mask coming off is just the cherry on top. This introduction isn't just about the Joker as a character, it's about what he represents. He is chaos personified. In a world of organized crime and corrupt institutions, he's the wild card. And this scene shows us that in the most visceral way possible. Think about it, he orchestrates a robbery where the criminals literally destroy each other. It's a microcosm of his philosophy. He's not here to play by the rules, he's here to prove that the rules are meaningless. This scene sets the tone for the entire movie. From this moment on, you're on the edge. You're thinking, if this is how the Joker operates in his introduction, what's he gonna do next? The scene plants a seed of anticipation that grows with every moment he's on screen. You just know he will do something crazy, and it all starts with this introduction. We're in a jungle somewhere in South America. The camera pans through dense trees and exotic plants, and you immediately feel transported into another world. And then we see a group of explorers cautiously making their way through the wilderness, but one of them stands out. He's wearing a leather jacket and a fedora. We can't see his face, it's hidden in shadow. Right away, this creates intrigue. Who is this guy? Is he the leader, the hero, the villain? We don't know yet, but we want to. The first clue to his character comes when one of his men sees a statue, gets scared out of his mind and runs away screaming. Without hesitation, Indy pulls his map, reads it, and continues through the foliage, leading the way. No words, just action. This tells us so much. He's confident, he's capable, and he's not wasting time. But here's the thing, he's surrounded by danger, he just doesn't seem to care. He and his crew are being tracked by indigenous people with poisonous darts, but he just seems to brush it off. He is just focused on something ahead. Suddenly, one of the guys pulls a gun ready to take Indy out. But before he can fire, Indy turns and cracks his whip. The gun flies out of the guy's hand and we hear a snap, and then it happens. The camera pans up and for the first time, we see his face. It's Harrison Ford, looking rugged and calm. This moment is pure cinema. It's a slow reveal, building anticipation and delivering a payoff that makes you instantly root for him. I love the shocked look his compadre had on his face. The reveal is very effective because it's all about showing, not telling. We don't get a long monologue or a narrator explaining who Indiana Jones is. Instead, we see who he is through his actions. He's resourceful, brave, and quick on his feet. The whip isn't just a weapon, it's an extension of him. He is good with it. Second, there's the setting. The jungle, the ancient ruins, it all screams adventure. From the very first frame, you know this isn't going to be a boring movie. And Indy fits perfectly into this world. He belongs here and you feel it. The movie opens with a view of the French countryside. Everything feels calm, almost too calm, and then the quiet is broken by the sound of cars approaching. We see a group of Nazi soldiers led by a man in a pristine uniform. He's polite, almost cheerful as he greets Lapadit. This is Hans Landa, played by Christoph Waltz, and from the moment he steps out of that car, you can feel something's off. Landa doesn't barge in or back orders. Instead, he walks in like an old friend stopping by for a cup of tea. He introduces himself with a smile and a handshake, and his tone is warm, almost inviting. But here's the genius part. That charm, it's a weapon. It disarms you. When he sits down at the table, he's all smiles, asking for a glass of milk and complimenting Lapadit on his daughters. But underneath that charm, there's a sense of control, of power. Landa doesn't need to shout or threaten to dominate the room. He owns it just by being there. Now, let's get into the meat of the scene, the conversation. This is where Quentin Tarantino's writing shines. Landa starts with small talk, asking about the farm, the cows, and even complimenting the milk. But as the conversation continues, it takes a darker turn. He begins talking about his nickname.
But you're aware of what they call me.
That they call you the Junta.
What's terrifying is how matter-of-fact he is about it.
Precisely.
There's no malice, no anger, just cold, clinical efficiency. He describes hunting as if he's talking about tracking down lost luggage. Landa speaks in a calm, almost hypnotic tone, drawing you in.
Because I'm aware what tremendous feats human beings are capable of once they abandon dignity.
He switches effortlessly between French, German, and English, using language as a tool to assert dominance. When he asks Lapadit if he's harboring Jews, it's not a question, it's a trap. On the surface, it's a friendly conversation, but underneath, Landa already knows the answer to his question. He's just toying with Lapadit. He's like a cat playing with a mouse, savoring the fear. The scene takes a gut-wrenching turn when Landa switches from French to English. This is a calculated move as the hidden Jewish family under the floorboards don't understand English. Landa's charm disappears, replaced by icy precision. He asks Lapadit to point to where the Dreyfus family is hiding. And when he does, Landa doesn't celebrate, doesn't gloat. He simply thanks him, stands up, and orders his men to open fire. It's clinical, brutal, and chilling. Now, we have to talk about Christoph Waltz's performance. This scene doesn't work without him. He balances charm and menace so perfectly that you are both captivated and horrified. The way he delivers his lines, smiling 1 second, dead serious the next, keeps you on edge. Tarantino himself has said that if they hadn't found Waltz, they wouldn't have made the movie, and honestly, it's easy to see why. This scene is also a masterclass in pacing and tension. Tarantino doesn't rush it. He lets the scene breathe, stretching out the conversation until you're practically begging for it to end. Every pause, every sip of milk, every smoke of a cigar, every seemingly innocent question adds to the tension. And the setting, it's brilliant. The bright, open farmhouse contrasts sharply with the dark, suffocating mood of the scene. It's like the visuals are mocking you, saying, this place looks peaceful, but it's anything but. In just one scene, we know exactly who Hans Landa is. He's not loud or angry, he's calm, calculating, and disturbingly rational. He doesn't just enforce the rules, he enjoys the game, and that's what makes him so terrifying. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many incredible character introductions I couldn't cover today, and that's where you come in. What's your all-time favorite character introduction? Did I miss someone you think deserves a spotlight? Let me know in the comments.